Hello. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. As mentioned, I'm Aurelia Costache. I'm leading the intelligent practice of UI in EMEA. And I'm very excited to be here today in such exciting times with so many grounds to explore and so many ideas to share. Um, before we start our discussion, I wanted to start with a quote, with a famous quote, which says, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you will land in between the stars." And because we are in the moonshot mothership track, which is impressive, and after we have seen how AI can be used for solving the biggest challenges of humanity, we want to ground ourselves now into the reality of our lives, into the business environment, and see how AI is changing our work life. And this is why we have invited two business leaders from Asahi Europe and International. Thank you, Geraldine and Bhuvan, for being here today. For a starting, please, can you present yourself?
Hello, I'm Geraldine, so I'm delighted to be here. I like to tell people that I have one of the best jobs in Asahi Europe and International. So I'm the group head of talent and development, and I get to do the cool stuff in HR. I don't do any firings or disciplinaries, but I get to do engagement, talent management, leadership development, functional development, so all the best things in HR.
Hello, everyone. And before I begin with my introduction, I want to thank Sarah Parker and also congratulations for organizing such a wonderful event, and also EY team for giving us this opportunity to come and share our journey with all of you guys. So I think with a big round of applause, if we can just thank the group, that'll be really, really great. My name is Bhuvan Pawar. I'm the Chief Digital Innovation and Analytics with Asahi Europe and International, and you must be wondering, what is Asahi Europe and International? We brew beverages, which is also beer and non-alcoholic products as well. And some of the global brands that you might have experienced in your lives at given time would be Pilsner Urquell, if you've been to Czech Republic. That's also one of our global brands. Asahi Dry, which is also hosting a Rugby World Cup now in France. I'll be going there for quarterfinal on Saturday, so don't be jealous. And then we have Grosh, who's the local Netherlands product, one of our oldest brewery. And then we have got Kozel and Pironi, which is coming all the way from Italy. We've got 19 brewing facilities. Business is spreading across 80 markets and got 10,000 plus people, those who contribute to the happiness of our consumers and enabling the journey of our customers and employees. So over to you, Aurelia.
Thank you. Maybe just to warm the discussion, can you say one or two words that will represent what AI means to you?
So for me, it's exciting and future.
Yeah, and I think for me, this is about innovation and new opportunities that AI can create for us.
Okay, that's great. Let's remind this because we will have some questions regarding those. Geraldine, can you share with the audience here how is AI already changing the people's life in Asahi, in the daily life?
So for us in Asahi, we think that AI is going to bring great convenience for people. As they integrate AI into their daily lives, it becomes natural and will bring convenience. It will also bring great fulfillment and it will save time. So people will be able to focus on the juicy bits of their work, and the mundane administrative parts of their job will be automated. So it will give them the opportunity to do what they should be doing. I have an example for us in Asahi. We've been looking at our recruitment processes. We want to improve the candidate experience. We want it to be equitable, and we want it to be efficient. We were too slow. So we've looked at HR automation, and we've got a project called the Digital Recruiter. And we're really looking at how we can use generative AI to look at matching CVs, reading the lines of CVs to the requirements of jobs by looking at the job descriptions. So previously, this was quite a manual process. It took a long time. And using AI, it's becoming much quicker, much more efficient. And of course, we're getting the right and better candidates for our business.
Thank you, Geraldine. You mentioned the Bhuvan innovation. You mentioned that this represents AI in the business impact you have. I think this is a core ingredient for successful digital transformation. And I would like to ask you to share what is your journey with AI in Asahi?
I think before I start to talk about our journey with AI or digital, I'd like to compliment Jerry here that we basically have the ambition to create a smart workforce for future. And this is the reason we believe that some of these technologies and ecosystem of technologies are going to help us deliver that objective and ambition to the organization, where we are leveraging these technologies to become the assistant with the people, those who will be more analyzing, more domain experts, and taking the informed decisions that these cool technologies, as we have been discussing, will be able to generate. Now, coming back to the question, the journey really started 3 years ago when I joined the company, and I should not take the credit myself. I think the credit really goes back to my colleagues back in the organization, those who have been very open-minded and always eager to challenge themselves and look at outside the box to try the digitalization in their day-in-day life. And looking at some examples, we developed automation framework, innovation framework, which has also helped us to carry forward this journey in a very structured way, in a formal way, which help us to deliver the value proposition back into the business. Some of the examples that I can call out are not only delivering the business benefits, but also influencing the society impact end of the day. And the examples are like, we develop a solution for hops, which is the key ingredient for our beer, with artificial intelligence and also using IoT sensors, which was in cooperation with likes of Microsoft, and we got the commission also from the Czech Republic Farmer Association as well, which is helping the farmers to understand the weather forecast and also the soil conditions so that they can decide during which time of the year they can grow what crops. And also for us, we can also get better quality and improved quality of the hops. Why that problem statement was chosen? Because this region where the hops is grown is a drought impacted area, and these droughts are becoming more and more frequent in that area, and this is the reason we came up with the decision to use the ecosystem of technologies to kind of predict the drought and recommend to our farmers and to our manufacturing colleagues how they can improve the quality of our beer. Not only that, I think we created about 70 plus number of automations across our functions, from ideation to the implementation, and also created a workforce which is helping to manage these automations in the future, working as the parents for those automations. So that kind of like an automation factory in a structured way that works for Asahi Europe and International. But then there are other mention of some examples that I can just go for the rest of the day, and that's my job. But I think the key objective is to create a smart workforce who's able to make informed decisions and able to help the business to grow and engage with our customers much better than we were before, because the decisions were based on some data which was not, let's say, assessing millions of scenarios, which we can do now.
Indeed, I can say from the outside, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, the digital maturity of the organization was almost zero. People didn't even know what automation or robot means, but these days you indeed have already AI into your business, and I'm sure you can share even more during the breaks in terms of where you are using AI. But it's not always easy, right? And there are challenges, and we also want to tackle this part of the journey. So I will ask Geraldine, which were the challenges you encountered during this journey, and how did you tackle them?
So I think there's a lot of fear when it comes to AI, and there's an anxiety about it for some people. And I think we tried to scare people a little bit several years ago by saying the robots are coming and your job's going to go and you need to upskill. But we didn't really tell people what to do and what to learn. So we need to more focus on the positive sides of AI and how this can augment people's jobs and increase their fulfillment in their careers within our organization. I find that people have a different mindset or approach to AI. So some people tend to think it's their savior and it's going to solve all their problems, and other people just don't want to know. And the reality for them is they focus on sometimes short-term KPIs, the sales targets, rather than focusing on upskilling. So for us, we need to really accelerate upskilling our people in the organization in order to be competitive and to ensure that they are employable in the future. So specific things that we've done is we have to include people. This is not something we can, upskilling is not done to them, it's done with them. So we need to give people the opportunity to try and experiment and just give it a go. We have an automation framework in which people can have the opportunity to give suggestions and ideas, and that's from grassroots right up to the top of the organization. We've also partnered with EY on the journey, and we've run some Art of the Possible events, and that's included multiple functions, for example, supply chain, manufacturing, HR, sustainability, and legal. And this has been kind of giving the opportunity for people to see what's out there, what's possible, how can it change their world of work, and it's really focusing on the person and what it means for them and the business.
Linking to what you said, because indeed involving people from the beginning, allowing people to experiment, allowing or creating the psychological safety so that they create new ideas and they feel comfortable trying the new technologies. These were the key elements of a study that we have done last year with Oxford University, which showed actually that where leaders are taking care of the emotions of the employees, organizations have 2.6 more successful projects, digital transformation projects, than the ones that do not. And indeed, this was, I think, proven in your case. Now, looking to the future, Bhuvan, can you share which are your plans for the future?
Absolutely. And I think just like everybody in this room, everybody is very excited about the whole development going on around AI, generative AI, ChatGPT, so as we are. And we are trying to exploit the opportunity to the best of our possibilities that we can bring not only the technology, but also the know-how of the technology of the latest developments. And one of the initiative that we have taken is now we're becoming part of a co-pilot program with Microsoft to basically bring the bite-sized learning for our people to understand the usage of AI in their day-to-day life, because as the co-pilot for Microsoft 365 is going to be embedded to your Outlooks, to your Excel, to your PowerPoint, which are used in your daily life, they would start to understand how AI can influence them and basically start to create the efficiencies and benefit for the common workforce. On top of that, we are working with Geraldine and with talent and development team very closely to bring our top 100 leaders of the organization on this journey as well, to speak the common language, because although all of our top management and C-suite guys, they understand the changes and evolution of the AI and technology around us, but not everybody is speaking the common language, and this is probably one of the key challenge that not just Asahi, I think everybody in this room who work for corporate has the experience with. So I think we're trying to bring that together with learning and development team to have the common dialogue, align this strategy for AI. And someone said in the session before, I think Janet said before that 25% of the employees are doing some stuff which either not aligned to the company policies, or they are kind of using it because they think this is cool. So I think that's why the alignment would take place. And then I think we'll be also developing our own AI policy and strategy as an organization, which will be aligned to the EU Act, which is coming up in the future. And for that, we are working internally with our enabling functions like security, with the GDPR function, with Geraldine and the team, and also with external partners like EY to bring that knowledge and expertise, because I cannot imagine that only us holds the key to the success. I think we need to bring this together with some of our ecosystem partners to solve this exam question, and that's where I think we're heading now in the future. So the next period is going to be very, very intense and busy, not only solving the business challenge, but also bringing people onto this journey.
Thank you. Geraldine, from people's perspective, how are you thinking to upskill, let's say, the digital skills of your colleagues?
So upskilling and reskilling is critical for us. So we really need to step back, and it's a partnership, as Bhuvan said, with the digital function. So we really need to step back and see as an FMCG, how is AI going to impact us? How it is impacting our strategy? What is the impact it's going to have on our employees, our consumers, and the society in which we operate? So we're looking at designing an upskilling program, and we could go the traditional approach of kind of the ex-go immersion and then working down, but we're trying to turn that on its head and sideways and look at it in parallel streams, so leaning into the younger generation in which AI is part of daily life, the digital natives, and then working upwards back to the ExCo. So we're going to run immersion workshops for our ExCo, the top 120 leaders, as Bhuvan mentioned. There's a bit of resistance there, so it's kind of getting over the hump of the resistance, and then career paths and journeys and upskilling certain career paths where it's most relevant, so a much deeper dive, and then learning for all. This is relevant to all of us and not just a select few, so self-paced digital learning that we will implement with badges and icons and rewards. So also coming soon would be the co-pilot that we're going to pilot, and that will also help with the upskilling and kind of, demystifying, debunking, and getting people to play with it, become involved with it, and use it for creating value for us.
Thank you. I think the last question for you, Bhuvan, because during such a journey, which is an accelerated journey, you have many lessons to share. And for the participants who want to start such a journey, maybe some practical recommendations?
I think we said few things, bits and pieces in our talks already. So embark this journey with your people first. I think it is very important to bring the people on this journey. You should not do the technology to them, but do the technology with them. That is for me the topmost priority for those who want to start this journey. Because if you bring them on the journey and they understand the impact and influence on their day-to-day life, I think they will help you to better solve the exam question. Second thing is, stay very close to the ecosystem partners like EY and Accenture and others, because eventually, as an FMCG, we are the consumers of this technology, but these guys are really, front runners in this technology discussions. They know what's going on. They know, how Microsoft or OpenAI and other technologies are evolving. And this is not necessarily for us as an AI or Asahi Europe and International, only the AI conversation. It is about the digitalization conversation. Hence, your ecosystem partner plays a very, very important role. And then, work with the startup ecosystems, because, they help you to be more agile. They help you test some of these sandbox scenarios, which you can prove the value back to the business. When I mentioned about the people, they also need to see the practical application of these solutions and these technologies, and only then the trust is being built. And last but not the least, I think just be fearless, because I was fearless in the beginning when I joined the company. I was given the mandate to be the disruptor. And my key goal and the key KPIs for the last 2 years has been being the key disruptor. And now very recently, I heard from my bosses that you have been disruptor for last 2 years. Now just slow down a little bit. But jokes aside, I think be the disruptor. I think you need to challenge your business to define the exam question. And I think do help them to define the exam question, because they don't know what's going on with the technology. They are really busy solving their sales targets. They're really busy solving their campaigns for marketing. They're really busy solving to supply the product to the customer and manufacturing the beer that we brew. So I think these are some of the tips that I would give it to anybody or everybody in the room. But that's my humble suggestion to everybody here.
So thank you both. I know we are at the end of our time, and just maybe 3 ideas, 3 conclusions that I took from our discussion. AI is already bringing business benefits, as long as the organization takes a very well-structured approach towards the transformation. You set very high ambitions, very high goals from the beginning, and with a clear business case for what all the ideas that were brought forward. And last, but actually the most important, taking the people from the beginning on board, putting the people at center. made it a success. I know we don't have time for questions now, but we want to invite you at the end of the day at 3:30 in our booth here for a happy hour. So you are welcome to ask all the questions. I know we have also the last slide that we can put so that participants would come. Yeah.
Join us at the happy hour with our iconic brands or the beers, Pilsner Urquell or many others. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.